Hey, cousin. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
I'm so glad you made it.
Me too. I am so happy I made it too. How are you doing today?
You know what? I'm doing good. Actually, talking to you before the show definitely lift my spirits. I was a little heavy. One, because I thought I was gonna have to do the show by myself. And I was like, I'm kind of prepared, but not really. And then it started storming, and y'all know my internet already be on the fritz. So the storming is threatening. But I'm good. Like I'm glad that we're here because we are just like literally 6 days away. I'm so excited.
I was reading it today. I was
Yeah.
reading it today and I was just like, oh my God, like it's a book,
Yeah.
man. It's a
It's a book.
book.
It's a
But
book.
anyway,
Yeah.
before we continue gushing and loving on each other, let's welcome the
Yeah.
people to the show, right? We always go like 5 minutes before we tell the people where they are.
I know.
Welcome
Hey,
to the
y'all.
Hustle
Hey.
and Shine podcast. We are your hosts today. We are missing
Yes.
1/3 of our stool, but I'm Tiffany Matthias, the one true Phoenix, and of course, this is the lovely Queen Pen,
How
my
y'all doing?
cousin, my baby
Yeah.
cousin.
My family. Exactly. Because of how are you? How are you doing?
It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and I went out and had to explore it because I had some unsettling news this afternoon, and I was like, I had energy in my body and I need to get it out. So I decided to go for a walk, and it was a beautiful walk, and I'm feeling okay. I took a nap when I came in from my walk, and
Yeah.
I woke up from my nap, and this is how I know my body, there's something off in my body, because I woke up and it felt like I had been sleeping for a very long time. And I looked to see what time it was, but the time that I was reading, I was like, this time can't be right. It was off. So I was like, what time is it? What time is it? I had only been asleep for about an hour, but
Mhm.
that hour felt like I had been asleep 4 hours.
Wow.
And so waking up and the sun was still out, I was like, did I sleep through the night? Did I sleep through the day? Where's Jade? Like, so
Yeah.
much was going on. But to me, I think that meant that my body caught up on the rest that it needed, because
Yep.
I had been asleep for an hour, but it felt like I had slept for hours. And so
Yeah.
here I am with y'all. So happy to be
Yeah.
here.
I'm so glad you're here. But you know what, Cuzzo, that's that peaceful sleep. When your body, mind, and all of you gets rest, it does feel like you slept longer simply because your mind's not still racing while your body is resting. I love that for you. I need some of that sleep tonight, Lord, if you're listening. No, I know he's listening, but I need some of that rest tonight. Um, I like you said, I cannot wait until we can properly give you your flowers. I have to constantly refrain from wanting to tell all of it in terms of what we have planned. But I cannot wait to the moment in time that is soon approaching, that is soon come, that I get to really gush and really tell everyone not what you mean just to me as my family, but what you mean to this organization, what you mean to this platform, and what you mean to our gyms and gents. We are putting something together definitely amazing. And so y'all stay tuned. More to come on that. But if anyone in my sphere of influence deserves flowers and praise and all the things, it is definitely the Phoenix. So we are so glad to be here with y'all tonight. As she said, we are missing 1/3 of our team, but that's okay. She's resting and taking care of herself. I know she's probably watching if she could. But for now, y'all need to go ahead and share this live. Come on now. Y'all know what's up. Go share the live, please. Go
It is
share it.
time to like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Take
Okay.
the
I'm
time.
the engineer tonight. I almost was slipping. I was like, oh, but she dropped the clue. It is time to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Drop the names in the chat of somebody who should be here tonight. We are talking living audaciously, right? And so
Mhm.
I'm a little offended, right? Because
What happened?
this show topic was my idea. And I really thought, because one of our most popular shows is a Dear Diamond. We get in such good letters, right? I was
Yeah.
like, we're gonna ask the people, instead of us sending these letters because their life is messy and they don't know what to do, they need advice. We want them to share with us how they're living audaciously. And we didn't get that many letters.
Mm-mm.
We didn't get that
No.
many letters, but we still got a show for y'all because we
Yeah.
did. We got a show for y'all because the one thing we're
Yes.
gonna do is put a show together, right?
Indeed.
But it got me to thinking that maybe people don't know they're living audaciously.
Right.
Maybe in what's happening in their lives, they
Mhm.
don't realize that it's okay to brag about what they're doing. They
Yep.
don't realize that it's okay to pop their own collars and toot their own horns because we have been programmed to think that if we do these things, we're being conceited, we're being
Right.
braggadocious, we're being low vibrational, right? Nothing high vibrational. And
Right.
because people relate high vibrations with us, they just didn't think that they were on the level. And so that's me reframing
Mm-hmm.
my disappointment and my sadness in us not receiving the responses that I thought we were going to get. And so I put that to the communities to let you know, like, look, we still be growing. And it's
Yes.
okay. Share with us what is happening in your lives. If y'all got stuff that's
Mhm.
going on, we got the Queen Pen in Georgia. You have me in New York City. You have Mel Finale in Florida. And y'all want a diamond in the space? Tell us what's going on. Send us what's going on. We will gladly pop out. We will gladly support. We will buy a ticket because that's who we are.
Yep.
So we say that just to say that we believe that the energy in this community
Mhm.
is circular, which means it goes around. It comes not circular, circuit. It's circuit with the circuit. You know, like the electric.
I know what you're talking about.
Whatever. My
Yeah.
tongue might still be a little sleepy, but my brain is still going. We
Yeah.
get what we get in, and since y'all pour into us, we want to pour into you too. So if you got
Exactly.
events coming up because it's event season, let us know.
Let us know. Exactly.
So
Yeah.
share
No.
that with us. All right. That's it for now.
No, I love that, Cuzzo. And I just want to add to that because I think too, in my disappointment in not seeing more submissions and DMs and just, responses to how women are living audaciously, I think, and this is, I'll speak for Tima. I won't pick on anybody else. I'll speak for me. Sometimes I didn't believe what I was doing or accomplishing or pursuing was audacious because social comparison had me believing that it wasn't enough. You see, all of these super platforms and all of these major influencers with thousands of followers, and you see the things that they're doing, and you feel like, well, I'm not doing that. And so you think what you are doing is less audacious or not as bold or not as noteworthy simply because it's not on the level that they're doing it. And I had to unlearn that. And so if that's the reason why you didn't share with us something that you're doing audaciously, I want you to know that everything that you do that takes a little bit of audacity is enough for us to celebrate you. If you were able to finish a small goal this week while juggling all of your responsibility and you didn't lose it, that's audacious. That is an audacious living testimony, and we would love to hear it. And so, guess what? It's not too late. Our book comes out Tuesday. We will be on air on Wednesday, which is the day after the release. And if we can even shout out a few of you at the start of the show, we would love to do that. So, it's not too late. Tell us how you are showing up audaciously and how you're living in a more audacious life. Because I think in this time, in this day and age, it literally takes audacity to be sane. I was watching a video that someone sent me today, and the young lady was severely disrespected by the man she loved. And I applaud her because she just walked away. She didn't try to fight him or fight the girl or stab him. And I've seen some videos like that too. She literally just walked away with her dignity intact. And the comments were like, couldn't be me. I would have swung on him. I would have did something to her. But that's audacity, to love yourself enough to say, nobody is worth risking my freedom. Nobody is worth risking my self-esteem. I am going to audaciously walk away from this situation, because a lot of people think anger is control or power, and it's not. It's literally just anger. There's nothing powerful about anger. There's nothing powerful about losing self-control. Those are actually weaker things to do. And what was powerful was her walking away. Literally, she walked. I mean, the cameraman or woman, whoever was filming, watches her walk and continue walking, and then the video cuts off. So I don't know the young lady's name. No one tagged the girl in it, but that was audacious. And so even if you're doing stuff like that, where you ain't cursing people out when your cell phone got cut off by accident, or something happened where you had every right to respond in anger, but you chose self-control and self-love, that's audacious. That's all I'm going to say.
You know what? So that just reminds me of a story. There is a young lady on social media right now. She is an NYU student who is experiencing the worst spring semester anybody could imagine. She woke up, I'm going to say about a week ago, because this is how long she's been sharing this. She woke up to her roommate urinating on her and her pillow. She thought her and this girl were fine. She shared some text messages recently, an exchange between them in which she asked the roommate to be a little bit more mindful and quiet when she's on the phone. Like, it's spring. We got finals. We need rest. We need all these things here. Nothing major, nothing crazy. She showed the screenshot of their text thread. And so it's not like, oh, this is the message that I sent her and it's altered. Like, no, this is our running conversation. So anyway, she woke up in the middle of the night to this happening. And she was in such a state of shock and disarray as to what had happened to her. You know, like, what are you doing? The girl said nothing, no apology. Like, you know, because sometimes when you super drunk, you do stupid things. Like, no, the girl just didn't say anything to her. Yeah. She said, like, all she could do was like just strip her bed and put the linens and stuff in a bag. And she's seeking assistance from NYU and NYPD right now on this, because she does feel she was assaulted. And I agree. Bodily fluids are a weapon when used in that type of manner. So she was out there seeking out and hopping into the comments, because that's what we do here. People were, that couldn't have been me. Blood would have been shed. She'd have been licking that up, like all this thing. And again, I want to say it's so lovely to look at a situation from the outside of it and say, if I was in that situation, this is how I would react. You lie. Because you do not know how you will operate within a situation until you are in it. From little kids, we are told to stop, drop, and roll. And countless time and time again, we can see a situation where someone catches something on their clothes, catch fire, whatever it is, and they go running and screaming, knowing that the oxygen will fan the flames and spread them. But because when you are in a traumatic situation, you operate out of different frames of mind. Fight, flight, freeze, fawn, right? So a lot of you are saying fight, fight, fight. Some people freeze and like literally get stuck in a situation. Some people fawn. Do I run? Do I? Like, you don't know. You don't know. You hope that your inner survivalist will kick in, and how you operate in your regular life will still follow through. But when you operate out of trauma, it is a roulette roll of the dice. You don't know unless you practice. And the only way to practice, unfortunately, how you will survive trauma is being in trauma. So I just say all of that to say, I think she is audaciously handling this situation. I think bringing it to social media's attention and the attention of the public is a great way to get answers, especially when you are one singular voice going up against a huge university such as NYU and dealing with the complicated shenanigans of the NYPD. Public outreach and cry can definitely help this get moving. So I will share that. I believe I have shared it on my social medias, or I've tagged people in her posts who I think like Ben Crump in them. Like, I follow a lot of these social activists, like just because. But then when I see something going, let me tag Ben Crump and his people in this. tag Angela. Let me
Yeah.
tag, because that's what it needs. It needs to, her story needs to land on the page of somebody with a huge enough platform, power, and following to
Yeah.
ignite the change. So
Yeah.
audaciously coming to the world with something that is so humiliating and degrading as being urinated on.
Yeah.
You know, so
That's,
audaciously living. So these are some of the things that everything doesn't, there's just so many ways to live audaciously.
yeah. Yeah. Being yourself is audacious. In this conforming uniform, everybody's looking like everybody else, especially these people getting their faces done, going into the plastic surgeon and choosing face number 4. I mean, it's audacious to say, I'm just going to keep being myself. I'm going to keep aging gracefully. Like, I look at the women in Hollywood in particular who have not touched their faces. Yes, they look like they're aging, but they look amazing. And those who have done the fillers in their face, it don't look good. And I don't know why nobody's telling y'all that don't look okay. I'm not going to touch that tonight, but I'm just saying to,
You
to, to
know
allow
who?
yourself to age is audacious because everybody want to hold on to their youth. I am so fine with being 43. I love being a grown woman. It's like my
Hello,
favorite.
knocking on 50 right here.
Okay, let's go. 49 and fine. Let's go. I love that. All right. So, real quick, before we jump into our subtopics, we're going to see who's in the building. I see Bernadette Starkey. Hello, be his child. Come on, authoress in the building. Good
Yes, yes,
evening.
yes.
I knew Mel was going to show up. Hey, Mel V. You better go rest, girl. Go get some rest.
Listen, the one
Uh,
thing I'm going to tell you about us hosts of the Hustle and Shine podcast, if we are missing from the stage, you can trust and believe we either in the wings or in the audience, because
yes,
we going to support. We're going to support. Okay.
indeed. Okay. And like, look, Bernadette, we love you for tagging. Is it Corinne? Corinne, get in here. Come on, Corlette. Let's go. Monet or Moni.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all come on. Vicky, Deborah.
Vicky Lately, come on. It's time to show up. Yes,
Get in
ma'am.
here, y'all. Get in here, y'all. We love that. Daisha says, hey, my sister. Wait, no, she said, love being a Thundercat.
Yes,
Thoughts
ma'am, because I
about
am
it.
not a cougar. I am a Thundercat. Mm-hmm.
She says, hey, my sisters. Hey, Di. Good to see you. Mel says, and will be. I know that's right. Look, diamonds that are in the building, go ahead and tag your diamond sister. Tell them get in here. Go to the group chat and say, why y'all not on Hustle and Shine? Like, get on there real quick. All right,
Mm-hmm.
Cuzzo, we got some topics for the people, and then we're going to get out their way on time tonight because
Yes, ma'am.
I have to get some stretches in.
All
I ain't
right.
seen the gym all week.
It's
Go
okay.
ahead.
It's okay. Listen. All right. So first up, we have audacious artivism. Okay. And so audacious artivism. I know when I put that in there, you quietly said, okay, I like that, right? And then I dropped because we're writers, we're authors, and we love to expand vocabulary. And so when I dropped the definition, you was like, oh, thank you for letting me know that's what it means.
I really did. So I was like,
All
wait,
right.
what? I like the way it
So
sounds, but I know what it
I'm
meant.
going to read for you what the definition of artivism is. Artivism
Please
is the practice that combines artistic creation with activism to raise awareness and advocate for social or political change. It involves using creative expression like art, music, theater, and other mediums to address injustices and promote positive change. So the word of the day today, gems and gents, is artivism.
I
And
like
I
it.
would like to point out, now that you know the definition, the diamond writers are artivism.
Yes, we are.
We use the
Indeed.
medium of word, whether
Mhm.
spoken or written,
Mhm.
to support and advocate for social justice and change. And so that's what we're here to talk about. And tonight, I want to shine light on Omari Maynard. All right. Y'all been with us. This name might be a little bit familiar to you. Omari Maynard lost his partner, Shamani Gibson, in 2019 due to a pulmonary embolism, a complication from a C-section that she had to when she gave birth to their son. An embolism that could have and should have been avoided if the doctors had listened to a Black woman when she said that there is something off in her body.
Yeah.
Omari has turned his pain into purposeful power by joining his mother in love, Shawnee Benton Gibson, who has been here on the show, who is also my mentor, in starting the ARIA Foundation. And ARIA is an acronym. I am not going to butcher what the acronym stands for, but they're also the subject of Tanya Lee's award-winning documentary, Aftershock. And so the reason Omari is audaciously living, Omari is an artist and a painter, and he has been painting the portraits of women from across the United States who have succumbed to death due to the maternal health crisis. And Omari's portraits were on display outside the Capitol building offices last week for Black Maternal Health Week. And so Omari is audaciously living through his art, through the power of his expression, to shine light on voices of families who are missing a key point, a key person, the mom in the children's lives. So this is audacious artivism, Omari Maynard.
That is amazing. Y'all go ahead and drop some hearts and some likes. Come on, get some love on the platform for him. That's just so amazing. Like, and although, you know, my sister, her pulmonary embolism was not caused due to childbirth, we still don't know the cause of it, but she went to the emergency room the night before she was unalived, and they did not believe her that she was feeling this pain and shortness of breath. They gave her a new asthma pump and sent her home because she does have a history with asthma. And so they made assumptions instead of running tests and doing the things that they should have. And so I absolutely love that we have activists or artivism advocates like him out here, because it's unfortunate that women, even Black women in particular, have to even go through that we are not heard, we're not believed. We are expected to have higher thresholds for pain. We are, you know, known or accused of being dramatic and over the top and dishonest about the things that we're feeling. And so I absolutely love that he is honoring his wife's legacy and leaving legacy for his son to witness when he is of age and can understand the story. I don't know how old the son is, but that's amazing. Is there any way that the Diamonds can support that? Like, is there anything we can do? Like, does he need contributions or donations to help buy supplies for his art?
Okay.
Anything like that?
So when we go into the next segment, y'all are gonna notice me looking away and looking down as Natima shares what her audaciously living story is, and that is because I will be behind the scenes getting all of the websites and all of the information and dropping it here, because yes, ARIA is a nonprofit, and nonprofits always can use donations, funding, just support and spreading the word. And so, yeah, all of the things can happen. So not only the gems and the gents who are in the space now, but those who are also going to watch the playback, they will be able to hopefully click these active links that I am going to drop. And I really do hope and pray for Jade's, I believe it was Jade's 10th birthday, I did a sip and paint for her. It was so cute. We made a signature cocktail. It was called Jaderade. And Omari and Shamani were the artists who led the sip and paint. So I cross paths very sporadically and minimally with Omari, and I am hoping that because we swim around in the same pools and circles, this eventually reaches him, because I just want to let him know that I see him, my community sees him, we're cross-pollinating over here, and he's doing a phenomenal job as a single Black father, raising a son and a daughter, but he is doing a phenomenal job carrying on the legacy of the beloved Shamani and all of the women who have succumbed to the maternal health crisis and the piss poor healthcare system that is the United States. So that's all I got to say for now. We're going to continue talking. I know we're getting ready to get into a deep one. Listen, y'all still got time to be sharing and tagging people to come in here and join this community, because we about to move into our next topic.
Yes, and make sure that y'all, like I said, please go ahead and drop hearts. All you got to do is tap your screen. If you're watching from your phone, you can just tap. If you're watching from your computer, you might have to do a little bit more work in clicking. Choose your emoji and click. But there's something about those reactions that really help algorithms, and we would absolutely love for Amari to get the recognition from this platform that he deserves. So y'all make sure that y'all go and do some tapping, please. I'm gonna log on to my Facebook and do some tapping. But the second subtopic that we wanted to bring to you in terms of living audaciously, I'm sure you've seen the article circulating social media. You've probably seen the hate from Hollywood on this topic, but we are calling this one Audaciously Changing the Game. Audaciously Changing the Game. And this goes out to none other than Ryan Coogler. Listen, I have not seen the movie Sinners. I have not seen it. I've heard mixed reviews on it, but I don't care if you want to see it, didn't see it, gone to see it, saw it twice. You cannot deny the fact that he finessed an amazing deal with Warner Brothers. So for those of you who are not acquainted with the millions of articles circulating in the Post and the Reels, and D.L. Hughley was talking about it on his show, and the Breakfast Club talked about it. If you didn't catch any of that, let me help you out. So Ryan Coogler wrote and directed this movie Sinners in partnership with Michael B. Jordan. They've done multiple projects together, including Creed as well as Fruitvale Station, right? Excellent films, by the way. So if you haven't seen those, get yourself together. Okay. Anyway, he goes to Warner Brothers, and I'm paraphrasing and putting this in Tima language. He goes to Warner Brothers. He says, "Hey, I have this movie concept, this idea. I need $90 million from you. I want to make this film, and here are my terms." Okay, so these are the terms that he finessed. He gets full creative control, so he is the final say, not just from the filming, but even in editing. He is the man. Okay, he gets to decide everything in terms of creativity. He gets a cut of the money from day one. So that means opening night, debut weekend. He getting coins off jump. He ain't got to wait. There's no waiting period. There's no, let's see how the movie does to write you a check. No residual. He getting money now. And then the last thing is he will own the film outright after 25 years. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with media and film and production and how that works, that is unheard of, that directors get to restore ownership of a film after any amount of time. There's only two others from my research in Hollywood history that have done that successfully, and that was Quentin Tarantino and Mel Gibson. But the difference is they put up their own money as directors. He used $90 million of Warner Brothers money to make the film, and yet he still gets to have the rights restored after 25 years. Now, again, to you, that might not seem like much because you're like, okay, it's not a big deal. That is a huge freaking deal. It is so huge that Hollywood is pissed. They believe that Warner Brother was careless and reckless in making this deal with Ryan, and the fact that it's going to change the way other directors approach filmmaking, which I love for them. I love that for them. Of course, the powers that be and those that are used to sitting up in their big offices and doing nothing but making millions off directors and actors and filmmakers and lighting crews and all of that, they are shook because they know this is going to shake the foundation of how Hollywood has worked in the past in terms of these big studios owning everything. He's pretty much changing that, and he's changing that for Black Americans in the film industry.
That was the part that I was waiting for you to get to. Right?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to get so hype.
Not only are they pissed off that Warner Brothers did that, but they did that with him. They chose him. So as we were talking about the story in pre-production or whatever it is, this equates, for some people who are not getting the magnitude of it, this equates to an artist owning their masters, right? So we always know that the big thing for music artists is they want to own their masters, right? Can you understand that in all of Hollywood, ever since the silver screen was the silver screen and there were silent films, there's only a handful of people who own their film. And this was a conversation that I was having recently with someone regarding Disney and the way that Disney is now going back through their catalog and they're now putting out the live versions of their animations. And if you look at it, you got Mulan, you got what is this one? Lilo and Stitch that's getting ready to come out. You got all of them coming out. Lion King, all of these ones here, right? Because it resets the clock on them owning.
Yep. Talk about it. Hey, here's the crazy thing. So, of course, I keep reading more and more articles on this. I'm staying, up to date on how this is reshaping the way Hollywood thinks. And there was an article released by MSNBC, and it says Ryan Coogler's Sinners isn't just scaring audiences; it's scaring Hollywood because it is unprecedented. This has never happened before. And I'm talking across the board, Black, white, Asian, doesn't matter the filmmaker. This has never happened before. So not only is he breaking barriers, breaking records, he's literally shaking people up to change the way they think about film industry. You don't have to give away your creativity. That is the message I believe he's telling Black, filmmakers. Stop giving away your creativity for free. Stop letting other people own your work, your vision, your ideas, the things that are in you. Okay. And it says that, that Hollywood executives are apparently freaking out. I'll share the article later on when when Phoenix is dropping her gem, if you're interested in reading this. But it was quite hilarious. It actually made me laugh because it's so revolutionary that people don't know what to do. They don't know how to handle this change. And I don't know who at Warner Brothers says yes, but they're a part of history. The person that said yes, we'll do it this way, is a part of reshaping the film industry, especially for Black directors. So this is freaking huge and this is amazing. I mean, there were other great stats that came as a result of this film. His opening weekend numbers were insane. I think it knocked Minecraft out the top spot. Like, you doing better than a Minecraft movie, that's insane, because we know how much money Minecraft can make with these young people, okay? And it knocked them out of the top spot, and he's continuing to see that profit coming in. So when I tell y'all it's huge. It's huge. And if you don't agree,
audacious.
It's audacious. It is audacious.
I actually just did a think piece on Ryan because someone, a content creator, said the problem with Ryan Coogler is that he made it, but he still speaks like he's from the hood. And I had to respond. I saw your eye roll. I had to respond because the problem with Ryan Coogler is people like you. We are damned if we do and damned if we don't. I have spoken on it. It is one of my speaking points. If you reach out to Phoenix Speaks, I will speak on code switching and the art of code switching and the goods and the bads, the pros and the cons of this. So if Ryan Coogler, straight from the streets of LA, he's never minced words about where he's from. Nope. If throughout his career had started to switch up and change his vernacular, so he sounded more polished, he sounded more refined, he pronounced the G on the end of his words and the ers instead of the us, and all of these things that make up AAV, then people would have called him a sellout. They would have come at him at being, conforming to the white man and all of these things here. But Ryan audaciously chooses to be himself, to
Yep.
speak how he
Absolutely.
speaks. And so, with that all being said, when he sat down and negotiated this deal, he sat down and spoke to these people like he was in the hood. Like, this is the same way I talk to my family, the way I talk to my people.
Yes.
I'm going to talk to you like that, Mr. Executive and Warner Brothers behind the big mahogany desk. I'm going to talk to you like a man, like a woman, like a human, whoever it is, because I don't need to put on ers and point my pinky up in the air and all this. I don't need to speak through my nose and take the bass out of my. He didn't do it. He didn't do it, and they understood
Oh
exactly what he was
gosh.
saying.
Yep. Yep.
And so,
Exactly.
if you're of that mindset where when you're in certain rooms, you need to talk to the people how they're supposed. No,
Right.
if you
Right.
so choose to, that is great. I will code
Right.
switch on you in a minute, right? But
Yeah.
then, am I doing that for me or am I doing that for you?
Right. Right.
So I say all of that to say there are many of us out there who Tima tell you she Queen Pen from Queens, but when she in these large, rooms with certain people who look a certain way,
Yeah.
she'll do what she has to do because as a woman of color, as an Afro-Latino of color, they're looking at her skin
Yep.
and her hair and her nails and all of these things there before they listen to the words that are coming out her mouth. Excuse
Yep.
me, I'm about to sneeze.
Bless you. Bless you. God
Allergies.
bless you. No, but you're right, because we're already being discredited before we open our mouth simply on appearance and name. Like, you can walk in a room and they hear my name is Natima, pronounced in Africa as Natima. And then, like you said, they see all this curly hair and these ethnic, bracelets. And it's automatically, what do we expect to come out of her mouth? But like you said, it's by choice. And I think they do the same thing to Representative Crockett. They try to discredit what she's saying because of the way it's coming across. And all that says to me is, you are simply mad that she still speaks more intelligently and has more influence when she speaks, regardless of her code switching or not. You are bothered by what's being said, not the way it's being said. And of course, they're never going to admit that that's the issue. And it's no different with Ryan Coogler. Why now are you attacking the way he speaks? You are outraged because how dare someone that speaks like that make such a genius move the way he did? That would, like, let's really expose what you're mad at. You're not mad at the way they talk, because guess what? If you grew up where we grew up, that's normal to us. It's abnormal to you because you're not from those demographics. You're not from, you know what I'm saying, those geos, those environments. So it's different to you, but that's normal to us. That's normal speech to us. And it
It sure
doesn't
enough is.
discredit what he's done. Exactly. So y'all go ahead and be mad, make fun of the way he talks, as long as you put the truth before it. Okay. As long as you say he finessed that
Be,
team.
be big mad because you know who understand him when he show up? The bank teller.
The bank teller gets it. Okay. He's worth
And
$25 million. So the way he speaks doesn't even matter. So yeah,
And
y'all
I
be
want
mad.
to add on, recently there have been people from the other side of the aisle who are addressing Representative Crockett and how it is that she speaks. But on the flip side, talking about, oh, she went to the Ivies and she comes from private schools. Oh, so you think just because the family had money, she shouldn't talk?
Exactly. She's gonna talk how she
At the
talks.
end of the day, she is a representative, ergo
Mm-hmm.
Representative Crockett,
Mm-hmm.
of a community of people who look and sound like her. So yes, she's not talking to talk to you. She's not speaking so that you understand. She's speaking so that
Exactly.
the people who she represents understands that she understands them and is in the rooms where it makes sense, where it happens for her to speak for them.
Yep.
Literally.
Yep.
She is
Exactly.
giving the voice. This is what they sound like in my community where
Yeah.
I represent. So
Period.
again, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If you code switch and you change up, you're pandering to the white people. If you stay true and speaking, you're pandering, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So
Exactly.
just do you.
And the constituents in whom she's called to serve, she's a civil servant to her, because we talk like that. Well, I don't live in Texas, but you know what I mean. Her folks in Texas, that's how they talk. So I want my representative to be able to relate to all of us, not just some of us, not a subset of us. So I love that for her. Last thing I'll share, like, this is hilarious because we're talking about vernacular and speech and, verbal etiquette or vocal etiquette or whatever. So when I'm playing with Amaya, gosh, my children, I always get their names mixed up. When I'm playing with Amaya, whether I'm doing her nails and pretending to be a nail salon owner, popping gum or whatever, I always use different accents, right? And so this particular time we were playing, I was doing her hair and I was acting like a Harlem, Boricua. And I'm talking to her in a deep, deep New York accent. She turns to me, she goes, "Was any of that English? I only understood train." I was like, hard. And she was like, "Was that English, mommy?" I was like, "Yeah, it's a New York accent." She was like, "New Yorkers don't speak English?" I was like, "Yes, that was all English." She's like, "But I only understood when you said train." I was it was so, but New Yorkers, we have a deep accent, and luckily for me, I know how to cut mine on and off. But I was crying because she was dead. Her face was like, "Was that English?" I was like, "Yeah." So anyway, we got one more topic for y'all. Go ahead.
I'm so happy for you because there's so many people from the Northeast, particularly New York, when they move below the Mason-Dixon, they pick up Southern twangs. And I love a New York accent with a Southern twang because it sounds Southern, but it does. It's just not quite there. But
Yeah.
it's language and words are beautiful, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
when used positively and motivationally and to uplift and encourage, words are the most beautiful thing ever. They can
Thank you.
also be the ugliest thing, and they have power. They can whiz by you, or they can gut you deep. And
Yeah.
I'm gushing, I'm fangirling over language right now, so
Yeah. No,
forgive
listen, I
me.
love that I love that my accent is hybrid. I love it. She is like definitely, she's lived in Maryland for a while. She's lived in Georgia for a few years, but she always gonna be from New York. But look, real quick, I wanted to shout out some of our viewers on Instagram. Is it Copyrighted in 92? She says, "Y'all look like y'all are 30. Black girl magic." Thank you. Thank you so much. And then Wash underscore Tiff2 says, "Let them be mad." I know that's right. Let them be
Big
big
man.
mad. Want to be big mad. Go ahead and be big mad. Thank y'all so much for joining us on the live. We love seeing more of our Instagram family, our Instagramily join us on the Hustle and Shine podcast. So y'all be sure to stick around and come back next week because we will be back celebrating Audacity. All right. Cuzzo, we got one more topic.
Yes.
This is a little bit different because our third co-host or our third host is not here. So we're not gonna do her topic, but I did throw in like a little extra that I thought we could do in place of a here's a gem, because this whole subtopic and this whole segment will be like giving y'all a gem. And it's called Audaciously Growing Through What We're Going Through. I thought this would be really good because the season of life that we're in, for those of you who don't know, whenever the Diamonds release a book, because we are doing marketplace ministry, there is often a significant attack on us. We often go through an increase in spiritual warfare. All of a sudden, we have health issues, marital discord, financial attacks, all the things happen right before one of our books come out. I am not making this up. Diamonds, please testify in the comments so the people know that the team is not just saying this is true. And so one of the things that we've done, Phoenix and I as leaders, is really pay attention every year that this happens. And we look for opportunities to insert faith, to exercise faith, and to really figure out where can we grow through it, because it's going to hurt regardless. We are going to go through it listen, we are 5 books in and we have tried around book 3 to avoid this season, but it is inevitable. Whenever you are doing something to the glory of God that you hope reaches other people, you are going to experience warfare. And I'm not talking the warfare that we like to call warfare that's really poor choices, or the warfare that we label warfare that's really like the manifestation of our own words. I'm not, no, I'm talking like we literally minding our business, trying to live right for the Lord, and boom, boom, we get 2 to the chest from the enemy, from the inner me, from the world. And so we wanted to talk to you about if that's you. And you don't have to have written no book. You don't have to contribute to this book to feel it. Warfare just happens when you're trying to live well for God. So we wanted to encourage you to look for opportunities of growth in what you're going through. So I'll pause there and I'll let Tiffany share, and then I'll share what I wanted to share. So go ahead.
I'm not even sure where to take this from, because when I tell you the warfare is coming from multiple angles and directions, it's like, you ever seen, okay, I know y'all have, right? Remember in Rush Hour when Jackie Chan like go to the Chinese restaurant, he wants to see Mr. Jun Chow, and he get up in there and he popping all that crap, and the guy come up and he hit him and he be like, which one of y'all hit me, right? That is life for me right now, right? It's like, or a mommy duck out there, and the ducklings are just that one going this way, that one going that way. Whatever analogy of chaos and confusion lands on you, that is me, right? And every Wednesday I show up here, and I think sometimes I show up and I'm polished and I look like I got it together, and I always got something quick and sassy to say and make the people laugh and all that other stuff. But please do know, show up like this in just about every space that I go to, right? Every virtual space, every physical space, I am in there. But then I come home, I close the lid to the laptop, and I am a bawling mess, right? Personal relationships, I'm always aware of that. In seasons of change, not everyone will go with you to the next level. And I'm aware of this, right?
Yeah.
But every time the season comes and the person who gets dropped or that is not coming to the next level with me is shocking.
Yeah. Yeah.
In this season, I took an intentional year off from writing with the Diamond Writers. 5 books in, numerous beta readers, numerous editors are like, Phoenix's stories need to come up out of the anthologies and be in their own book. She is ready to step out and be in her own publication. She is hiding behind the other authors and their stories. Like we had a in the retreat, I think it was Miss Jessica in our writing and journaling exercise told me that I was skating around like, and she expects more, right? So I was like, you know what? You remember we were sitting at the table and I was like, oh, she was like, it was good. Like it was what I was expecting, but you can give more.
Yes.
Right?
They ain't gonna give you truth, honey.
Thank you. Somebody found a voice and she using it to coach.
Okay.
So I took this intentional year off, and I'm like, if I am going to write about my story, there are significant parts of it missing. And I speak, and I have spoken on being a child who was separated from their biological father, who does not know all of the stories. And, there's a piece of me missing. And so I was like, I cannot write this story if I don't explore who I am as a Harley. Who am I through my paternal lineage? And I was going to work with my brother, who was my twin, on learning more about this side of my family. Yeah. And my brother died last month. God, what in the whole, like he was, He
Yeah.
was my extension. He was my connection to this. What do you mean he's not there for me to do this work? How
Right.
can I do this work without him? And so I still must, right? So I say all of that to say there is, we as the diamond writers never look like what we are going through. Not a time. Not a time. There is so much discord going on, and some of it is from our own decisions where we didn't listen and we were disobedient, but some of it is intentional attacks on us in attempts to mute us and to sidetrack us and get us distracted so we can't reach you, that
Yeah.
our messages cannot get to
That's
the
it.
people who they need to. They can't hear us. We're missing episodes of the podcast because things are going on. So the message that I needed to share can't get out.
Right.
Stuff is going on, so I can't sit down and write. You know,
Right.
I'm distracted because of my finances. I'm distracted because of turmoil in this relationship. I'm distracted because my way of living is being attacked and my job isn't secure and all these different things here, and yet and still leaning
Yep.
on the strength of one another, we still figure out how to show up. So this is
Yep.
what we're saying. We be going through some stuff, and the
Mm-hmm.
only way for us to actually get through is to then make sure it's in the next book. That's
That's it. That's it. Exactly. To record it. Exactly. Man, Daisha says, you speak in Phoenix. Amen. You dropping gems for sure. That is so good. And everything you said, like, just to echo your sentiment, I went through a life quake. I had always depended on my degrees and my knowledge and my intellect and my corporate career to provide for me. And I was one of those people who always said that God was Jireh, right? I always knew him as Jehovah Jireh, but I think it was just words because if I'm being honest, I always thought it was me making these things happen. And to go through job loss earlier this year, it shook my whole world because I am the sole provider for my children. Well, my ex-husband provides my oldest, I pay him child support, and then I have my youngest. But for my finances to be disrupted by layoff, I didn't know what to do. I panicked. I was like, God, this isn't funny. Like, I've been through some stuff, but you ain't never played with my money. You ain't never played with my income. I don't know what to do here. And I knew that God was showing me and moving me toward actual faith that says he will be the one to provide. And I will tell you, I was unemployed. I'm back at work now, but I was unemployed for almost 3 months and I didn't lack anything. I didn't lack not one thing in my home, not one, like, nothing went unpaid. Me and this child still ate good. Lights was still on. Car notes still paid. Everything got paid. Everything got taken care of. I was still able to show up for this community. I was still able to invest in this space financially. And I'm just like, Lord, you really use things that we go through to mature us in our faith. And so, what I wanted to share with you all is what I've learned during this journey of unemployment. Even though it was brief, it was significant. It literally shook me to my core because I'm 43. So in 30, when did I start working? Do the math, the team. I started working at 14. Okay, I ain't got time for the math. But in all of that time, I've always had a job. I've always had more than one job. So I've never not worked. So to be in this season of unemployment, I did not know what to do with myself. And so I turned to God. I went deeper in my word. I went deeper into my prayer life. I truly wanted to understand God for real, not the surface level, superficial. I know the Lord. And then when something goes through, oh God, where are you? Like being able to go through this and know that he was here was amazing for me. And so some of the things that he taught me in this season is one, there's a myth about the straight path. That is not realistic. There is no such thing as a straight path. Sorry, and I hate to be the one to blow it up, but it's not real. I thought that if I do everything a certain way and I pray a certain way and I tithe and I give offering and I serve others and I minister to others, my life will be on this. No, That is not realistic. So let go of that myth that your life will end up on a straight path. I know Proverbs 16:9 says, the heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps. So my plan was to finish my career in corporate America, to transition into entrepreneurship and to become a billionaire. That is not what God has called me to. I ain't gonna say I ain't gonna be a millionaire. I will be one day, but that was not the path that I was supposed to take. It was a completely different path. The other thing I want to say is learn to pivot and keep your faith intact. You should be able to pivot and move and go where God leads you and it not shake your faith. And I'm not saying that every day you're going to wake up, I'm so full of faith. That's not realistic. You're going to have days where you're like, Lord, seriously, where are you? But don't allow it to damage your faith where you just wake up not believing at all. The other thing I found strength in my vulnerability, being honest about losing my job. That's humbling for me. For those of you who know, I've always had a job. I've always had money. I've always lived well. I've always done really well for myself. So being able to get on this mic and in conversations and admit to people, I am currently unemployed and I don't know what my future looks like. I have no idea what next week, next month, next year is going to look like. That was so humbling, but there was so much strength in my vulnerability because it opened more doors than my closed mouth would have opened. So that's another thing I want to say. The last thing I want to share with you guys is the gift of pause. This was the best pause in my entire life. I have been grinding, hustling, working. Like I have been doing all the things my entire life to make money and secure income. This was the first season ever that I got to sit still and create what made me happy. I got to sit still with my own gifts and talents and just create. It was the greatest season of my life. Like I honestly want it back. Like I loved it so much. Just doing absolutely what made me happy. And during that season and that gift of the pause that life had given me and God had given me, I was able to create 7 journals that I had been dreaming of and writing about and thinking about doing. And when I get the time, that pause gave me the luxury of time. I had time to do things that I really wanted to do, time to do things that made me feel good. And so y'all could go get those on May 1st. I'm just saying that they're going to be on on Amazon. Um, but yeah, that's the last thing I want to say is that enjoy the season even when it seems hard, even when it seems unfair, even when it's rough. If you have to cry, cry. If you have to question God, I know people say we don't question God. Why not? There are several scriptures where people questioned him. There are several. I can share them with y'all if y'all want. There's many people was like, God, what's up with this? Why are you doing this? What's happening right here? What? And all you're getting, get understanding. I needed to understand the season I was in. And it wasn't because God owed me an explanation. He's in charge. But I am also a friend of God. I am in relationship with him. I'm going to ask him for understanding like I would Phoenix. Phoenix, why are we doing this show? Lord, why are we doing this season? What's going on in my life? So don't feel like you can't ask God nothing. I can't stand people that teach that foolishness. Ain't nowhere in the Bible that says that, but that's a whole nother story. So yeah, those are the things that I wanted to share with you. And I hope that it helps you to grow through what you go through. Know that there is nothing you are experiencing in your life that has not been defeated on the cross, that has not already been taken care of by the Holy One. There's nothing you could ever face that God does not understand or has not felt what you feel. And so knowing that made it okay for me to get through the season. Now that I'm back at work, I've learned how to reprioritize myself. I'm not giving all of my time to work like I used to. So this really changed my mindset. It helped me to grow in terms of my thinking about my job. My job is no longer my resource. They're no longer my source. I'll say that. They are a resource that the Lord uses, but God is my source. And so had I not gone through this, it wouldn't have taken that thought pattern and made it different. So yeah, I'll pause there, Phoenix, if there's anything else you wanted to add.
And then I don't have anything else to add right now. We have given a lot tonight, and sometimes when it comes down to medicine, you can't overdose the people. So we gave them some audacious remedies to some things that it is that they're going through, because I have to believe that what we shared tonight landed on somebody and they needed to hear that message. And so it's up to you now that it had, because we're just the resource, right? Yep. There was a message that needed to get out. I'm going to say I think it was really this last segment, because this was not what was planned a month ago when we were in our production planning meeting for what we were going to be discussing in April, but this is where we are. So I hope this message reached. Nope, cancel. I know this message is going to reach those people who needed to hear it. But once what you do with that nourishment is up to you.
That part. That's good, Phoenix. That's so good. So look, we got a couple of housekeeping things before we go. As you know, okay, this book is on its way out. It will be here on Tuesday. Oh, we're so excited. Woo! Publication number 5 coming at you on Tuesday, April 29th. You can get it at diamondwriters.com. You can get it on transparentgeminc.com. And you can purchase it on Amazon.com. We are so
And don't
excited.
forget to hit up your local diamond.
That's right. I was just going to say, some of them are taking pre-orders, so you can go ahead and get it from there. And then on May the 4th, we have our virtual book release event at 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. So we hope that you will join us for both or either or. We have so many diamonds this year. We could not do one show as we've done in prior years. It's too many of them. It's too many of our writers. So make sure that you come out and support that. If you need a reminder, you can go and subscribe to our YouTube page. It'll be there to remind you. Just hit that notification bell, or you can register at diamondwriters.com, and that will send you an email reminder to join us at either 2, 6, or at 2 and 6 o'clock to celebrate these amazing women and their stories of triumph and victory. One of the things one of the writers says in her chapter, she says, we don't fight for victory, we fight from victory. And that resonated with me so much because she's so right. She is so right. So that's all we have tonight. Phoenix,
no, we got one more thing. One more thing. This Sunday is the Slow Your Scroll journaling workshop.
Yes, thank you. Yes, at 6 p.m. You can still register at diamondwriters.com. That'll be hosted by our very own Sweets Right. So you definitely want to make sure that you tune in. It is absolutely free 99. So make sure that you tell a friend to tell a gym to take advantage of the Slow Your Scroll. I think you will enjoy it very much. So that is it. All right. We thank y'all for going over time with us by 3 minutes. We hope that this show encouraged you, inspired you, blessed you, or at least charged you to live audaciously. I was looking for the right word. And until next time, we'll see you right here on this same platform, same time, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard next week. Y'all continue to hustle and shine. Good night.
I didn't hit it.